What's up, guys? It's Will back again, and today we're here to take a look at some fire that Hot Toys dropped overnight last night, and it's a big one. This is Boba Fett from The Mandalorian Season 2. So this is a long-awaited figure. Hot Toys teased it not long ago, like a week or two ago, but everyone knew Hot Toys was going to do this. It was just a matter of when. They tease Bo-Katan now. They tease Boba Fett. There's just a lot of things with The Mandalorian. They've even kind of teased Luke in a Season 2 Mando, so we're going to kind of look at those when they arrive. But today we're looking at Boba Fett. We're looking at the Deluxe version, and we're looking at the collector's edition. So there's two different options here, and they are pretty different. So what we're going to do today is kind of go, into what each one offers and which one is the best for you, because they do differ pretty heavily in price. Collector's edition is $285, Deluxe is $495. For some reason, the Deluxe was $490 this morning on Sideshow. Now it's $495, just the same day, just hours later. Not sure why it's $5 higher in price, but it is now, so that's the world we live in. So we're just going to have to deal with it, I guess. So the collector's edition and the deluxe edition, two different figures, but this is interesting because Hot Toys doesn't always release 2-packs anymore. I mean, it's not uncommon for them to do it, but they haven't released one in quite a while now. So it's been some time since we've gotten a 2-pack like this, from at least what I can remember. If there's one that we have gotten more recently, let me know. But from what I can remember with the releases, I don't remember seeing a 2-pack at all in the last year or two. So what we're going to do is start by looking at the deluxe version because that's the one most people care about. So we should kind of start there and work our way backwards and see which one's the best for you. So let's take a look. So it starts here by just giving you a brief description of Boba Fett here, saying just a brief write-up of the character, sort of like a PR release for the figure, saying hey, Boba Fett's back in The Mandalorian. He's very cool. We love Boba Fett. You love Boba Fett. Here's a figure. Hope you like it. That's basically kind of what they're saying here. What we really care about is what's in the box, because what's in the box is what we're paying for. So this is going to be a really important thing to look at. So in this deluxe version, and what's up here, you can see there's a spot here labeled exclusive to deluxe version. So that's just kind of going over, what comes extra with the deluxe version that you wouldn't get in the standard version. So if we're just starting with the standard version, you get the Boba Fett helmet, you get the blaster, you get the rangefinder here. Just they talk about the paint with the distress armor. 30 points for articulation. That's pretty cool. 30 centimeters tall. You can see here that equates to just under 12 inches. So that's pretty cool. That's a typical figure height for a 6-scale figure. 6 pieces of interchangeable glove hands. So you get 6 different hands. So basically you get 3 separate hand poses because they're a pair. So what we have here, costume. We talked about his costume that, just with the Mandalorian armor, in his specific color, the red gauntlets, the gray colored sleeves, the belt ammo, the dark colored robe, all of that, the pistol. So really what we're seeing here is just kind of a description of what the figure is, but what we really care about is the exclusive to deluxe version category. So what do we get for our money? What do we get for $200 more? Well, first thing, you get a whole separate figure, because if we look at it, this is the deluxe version, right? The deluxe version is 2 separate figures. That's pretty cool. So, because Boba in the robe, that's probably not something you're ever going to see again. More than likely. I mean, it's possible he shows up in that form at some point, maybe in a flashback or something, and Hot Toys redoes it. But more than likely, if you want Boba in this form, this is your chance to get him. For me, my opinion, I don't really have the urge to get Boba in this form, despite how absolutely incredible this sculpt is. I mean, this guy's is absolutely incredible. That sculpt is so good. That is absolutely lifelike. They've got Tamora Morrison's likeness down to a T. And they were able to basically take that sculpt, it looks like, adjust it just a little bit, add some scars and some facial discoloring to the figure. And yeah, it's really, really cool. So before we look at too many of those photos, let's take a little bit more here at what it has here. So talk about the facial articulation. It comes with the robe itself. So 5 pieces of interchangeable glove hands. So 1 pair of relaxed hands, 1 pair of hands holding weapon, and 1 pistol holding hand. So you get the other stuff here just with the costume. You get the Gothy stick. That's pretty cool. You get a rifle, 1 pistol, 1 damaged stormtrooper helmets. That's pretty cool. You get the Jango Fett hologram and the diorama stand there, which is pretty cool. So what we're looking at, here's what everything comes with. So this is kind of what we were just reading up on. This is why I like to read on that before I look too much at the figure. But this is a picture basically giving you an idea of what you're getting with. So you're getting 2 figures. And what I thought was a really important differentiation was I wanted to know, is this one figure that you change the clothing on, the costume on? It's not. It's 2 figures. So you basically get this guy already dressed and ready to roll, and then this guy, Boba Fett, in his cool costume with the weathering in a separate figure. So it's a standard 2-pack, like a Chitauri or a Han and Chewie or something like that, except it's the same character, which is kind of pretty cool. So yeah, it's really nice. The diorama base they've done is really cool. I like this. It's not typical for Hot Toys to do a new type of base like this. So from my understanding, I haven't seen, maybe the Rogue One Death Trooper had something similar to this, so maybe it's a reuse in that sense, but it's different than the typical, just standard kind of plain base that they normally give us. So that's kind of cool. I like that. And you can see here, he's got the blaster, he's got the jetpack effects, the fire, the whistling birds, the hologram, really, really cool. You can see the deluxe set here. They lay it out nicely for you. The broken stormtrooper helmet where he smacks him John Wick style in the face, Jango Fett hologram, and then the stick, and then the rifle. Pretty cool. So let's take a look at some of the details here. So look at that. That's awesome. That's some serious weathering, and I love that. That's really, really cool. So the jetpack effects are really cool. I don't see people use those too much, but they are really nice to have. If you ever want to put them in a flight pose, you could definitely, load those up in there and it would look really, really cool. The flame looks pretty cool, actually. I really like that. I've never posed my figure like that, but I'm considering putting my Mando Season 2 like that. There's the Stormtrooper helmet, the cracked helmet. Really cool. I think that looks great. That's pretty cool. That's a nice accessory, little added feature there. Guys, the sculpt. What more is there to say? The sculpt is perfect. It's dead on. It's 100%. Hot Toys doesn't always get 100%. Sometimes they get 90%, 95, 85. This is 100. This is 100% sculpt. So really, that's another factor, another plus for you if you want the deluxe. Because if you want the sculpt, you got to get the deluxe. That's how they get you. So yeah, that's dead on. And the costume looks really, really great. I do love that sort of with the leather belt holder here with the ammunition. That's pretty cool. I like that touch. It's a very Western vibe, and I like that. And the holster and all that. So I'm not, overall of the look, I'm not a huge fan. I think it looks really cool. I almost think the figure looks better than the costume looked in the show, which is kind of interesting because that doesn't always happen, because they kind of slimmed him down a little bit. They didn't give him as much dad bod as in the show. It's out of respect for Tamora, I guess, but really it's fine. I mean, he still looks awesome. So he's in great shape, and he's pretty old. I mean, but he's still incredible, and he's great in the role. So yeah, this is really cool. They got him in a lot of good poses. There's him with the hooded robe outfit. I could see a lot of people posing this next to the other Boba and it looking really, really great in a display. For me, I don't think I would ever, I don't feel the urge to get, like I said, this Boba figure in this robe. I think for like 95% of Star Wars fans, this is an absolute must buy. For me, I like Boba Fett a lot. I have the Empire Strikes Boba Fett, which I love. I think it's great. And I actually have the premium format Boba Fett, and that's really great. I don't really feel like this is a must buy for me. I don't feel like it might be something I get later on down the line. But for me, if I get it, I wouldn't be opposed to just picking up the standard version. But we're going to look at the standard version and see whether I'm crazy or not, because I might talk myself into it by the end of this video. We're going to find out. See, that's what I'm talking about. This looks really cool. And this is something I can see a lot of people doing and putting together a really nice display with those two back to back like that. That looks really cool. And I think in a display with some nice lights, that would look really great. And if you put them in something like that, put them on like an acrylic cube display and put them next to each other, that's going to look really, really great. And I think they're really selling me a little bit with this type of thing, with this type of setup right here. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. It's really great, but I just think, and that's cool. But if I had him in the Boba Fett outfit, I don't think I would, as great as this sculpt is, I don't think this is a figure I would take the helmet off of him. Like, generally speaking with me, like, there's so many great unhelmeted sculpts that Hot Toys produce. The best of which, or one of the best for me, is the Eric Killmonger. That Eric Killmonger sculpt is dead on. That thing is perfect, just like this one. And it's so good that I almost consider using it, but I still have the helmeted sculpt on him. Generally speaking, I tend to go for helmet sculpts more often than unhelmeted, despite how good the portrait is. Wasp, same thing. That portrait of Evangeline Lilly is really great, but I have the mask on. I have the helmet on her. So Spider-Man with Tom Holland, same. I actually have a movie promo, but I am getting the it upgraded suit coming out, and that sculpt looks incredible, but I doubt I'll use it, to be honest. I'll put the helmet version on him. So the mask version. So yeah, this is really cool, and I think this is one that's a really great picture too to show you how great those two look together. Let's take a look at the collector's edition. So if we're just taking a look at the picture here, this is an idea of what it comes with, right? Most of the stuff, you get the base, you get the jetpack, you get the whistling birds, all of that. You don't get the Jango hologram. You get a different type of hologram. You still get the blaster and all that, but You're not getting the long rifle, it looks like. You're not getting the Tamora Morrison head sculpt. You're not getting the robes, anything like that. So you can see here, like I said, you still get all that stuff we talked about. You still get the blaster, but you're missing some things for sure. You're definitely missing some things. But if like that looks great, that's a really cool outfit for me. And it's not my favorite Boba look because for me, I think they've already nailed this Boba look. I think, you know, not this one, but they've nailed the best Boba look in my opinion, which is Empire. And Return of the Jedi is also a really good one, which I also like. So this one is different. It's unique. It's very mythos, sorry. So I really like it. And that looks really, really cool. I like how Hot Toys is kind of doing these backdrops. These pictures look good. The photography looks good. That's really cool. And I do kind of like this skirt here. And the more I'm looking at it, like I said, I almost like the figure more than I like the outfit in the show. But the good thing is, I tend to buy things I have an emotional connection to. So for me, you know, this scene in the show was so freaking cool and awesome. I have such a fond memory of watching it that I watched it and I was like, this is insane. This is the best episode of Mandalorian to date at the time. And it was. And it still might be my favorite, honestly. It's still top 2 or 3 for me. And this episode was, when Boba came out like that, it was just incredible. See, they're teasing season 2 Mando. It's happening, guys. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. It's happening. But is it going to we'll talk about it in a different video, but is it justified to get this one with the minor differences over the season 1 Beskar version? Remains to be seen. We're going to find out. But I think this collector's edition is still a good option. $285, not bad because of the base you get with it, but a little bit overpriced to me. I think this is probably like a $260 type figure. I think it's $255, $260 in an ideal world, but we don't live in those times anymore. Hot Toys is getting bigger and bigger by the day. Prices are going up, just how it is. So it's unfortunate for us collectors, but if we want the quality and they're still delivering on it for the vast majority of figures, then this is kind of what we pay. Now this is a new norm. So $285 plus taxes and shipping, you're probably looking at $325, maybe a little bit more, $330 maybe. So it's not a cheap figure, but Sideshow gives out promo codes all the time. Be on the lookout for those. There's also other places you can get figures, you know, like we've mentioned, the Comic Concepts, the Alter Ego Comics, you know, places like that. You know, Pop Culture Zone actually is a good place too. So take a look at them. They're good. So you have other places you can get figures. So there are options. But what it really comes down to, guys, if we're looking at this deluxe version, do you need the head sculpt? Do you need the robe outfit? Do you like this stick? Do you like this look in general is what I'm getting at. Do you like this look? And it looks really, really great. Do you feel like you need to mix and match and display 2 versions of Boba Fett together like this? It looks great. It looks great. But do you need it? Do you need to spend twice as much, essentially, almost twice as much, for this type of setup? For me, I feel like this version is probably going to appreciate better in value, just long-term for the collecting standpoint, just because I think it's going to be in more demand. Like when you go to sell this later on and you'd have just the regular Boba version, still going to be something people want, but the deluxe version is going to be something people really want because they're going to want that sculpt and they're going to want the robe outfit and stuff to go with this Boba because it is a unique look. So long-term, if you're not worried about, you know, the investment portion of this, which most of us aren't, like I'm not really either. I just like a figure to maintain its value, which this one definitely will. But as long as it maintains value so I can get my money back if I need to sell it or decide to sell it for whatever reason, you know, because we all fall out of love with figures every now and then. It happens. So, you know, if you decide to sell this one, this is something you could do. And I think you'll definitely get your money back either way. But for me, if I end up getting this, I feel like I'll probably go towards the collector edition because I don't think I want to spend $500+ on this figure for this version right here with the robes that I don't think I really care for that much. It looks great, but it's just not, it's not something that I really feel like, oh my God, I have to have that in my collection. You know what I mean? It's one of those. So if I go for this right now, it's something I'm going to wait on. This is not one I'm going to instant PO because I don't feel like I need to. I'm going to feel like I'm going to wait on this one. I think for 95% of people, this is an instant must buy. If you're a huge Star Wars fan, like PJ, for example, he's already probably bought 2 of these, but because he loves everything Mando. But there are other collectors out there like that who love everything Mando and Star Wars, and this is an absolute must buy if so, which I do. I do love everything Star Wars for the most part, but I'm pretty selective, and I try to only get things that look, you know, that I really, really, really want nowadays. And this is one that I like kind of want. So I'm going to think about it some more and wait on it. But I'll probably end up going with the collector's edition as of now, but I have until next year to decide. So That's actually not bad though. April to June of 2022, that's a year. Like we've seen 2 years, 2.5 years. This might get delayed. It might be, September, very possible. It ends up being a year and a half. But as of now, it's scheduled for a year, slated for a year release. That's not bad. Guys, that's pretty good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think this is going to be a must buy for almost everyone, but it's definitely a buy for me, as I recommend it to you. I don't think it's a bad buy whatsoever. I think the price is fair for 2 figures. You're essentially paying $250 per figure plus tax and shipping. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. There's not really too much to this outfit, to be honest, but it's fair. $250 a figure, that's reasonable for today's market value for Hot Toys. So I'm okay with it, and I think you guys, should pick this one up. But for me, like I said, I'm gonna sit on it for a little while. Maybe you'll convince me in the comments below, so let me know. And I will catch you guys in the next video. That is all for this preview video, so I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. And this is WillFoxification signing off, and I will see you in the next video.